Hey y'all, do you ever wonder what we eat for breakfast? Well, here is one of the things we eat. Yummy, delicious blueberry scones, or really any kind of fruit you want, even chocolate. In under 20 minutes? I think yes. Let's begin. Why I shall that? Okay. So what we're going to start with is a half a cup. How to make so be blessed. Here we go. Okay, to begin with, you want to make your flax egg because that kind of has to sit a while. So it's 1 tablespoon of your flax meal, 2 tablespoons of warm water. I feel like that was just 1 tablespoon, but whatever. So you give it a mix. It's got to sit like, 5 minutes or so. So usually I make this before I assemble the rest of my other ingredients. And let that sit and get happy. And then you're going to take 1 1/4 cup of oat flour. Again, I don't go out and buy special oat flour. I just take my oats and put it in my blender for about 30 seconds and it makes it into a flour. The longer you can let it go, the finer your flour will be. So if you have like textural issues, you might want to let that go a little longer. This is 1/4 cup and a quarter of almond flour. Lord have mercy. And then to that, you're going to add a tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of your Chia Seeds. We never did figure out how we pronounce that. And then a half a teaspoon of salt. If you're trying to cut back on your salt intake, you can omit that. It just makes it taste better. So just going to whisk this up. So just like baking, we're not reinventing the wheel, we're just making the wheel better. Like we used to bake, you'd mix your flours and you mix your wet ingredients and you'd add them together. So that's all we're doing, y'all. Just gonna whisk this up. To me, the chia seeds almost make it look like a poppy seed scone, but it's not. So then you're going to take 1/4 cup of your unflavored, unsweetened plant milk. Let me see. This is a tablespoon of just lemon juice. A teaspoon of vanilla. I forgot the blueberries. I'm going to get those in a second. This is 3 tablespoons of your pure maple syrup, and that's really the only sweetener in here. And let me grab my blueberries here. Now, our flax egg should be, see, it doesn't even move. It's like weird. You're gonna dump that in. And then we're just gonna mix all that up. And then you're just gonna add your wet to your dry. And it's a scone, so it's kind of like, I just don't need that in. It's kind of almost like a biscuit. They're a little, I don't know if you've ever had a scone, but they're a little more denser, a little drier. These actually are really moist though. Steve said they're the best scones he's ever had. So scones are a little different animal than like your other baking things that you do. Okay, so now you're just gonna turn it, and as you can see, the liquid to flour ratio is quite drastic. You really kind of have to work the flour into your wet ingredients. And sometimes I even get in there with like my hands to really work that in there like you would a biscuit dough almost. So mine, you want it to look, it's kind of crumbly, but it's all pretty well moistened. If you think yours is just way too dry, like it's not holding together at all, see, it kind of holds together, but it is dry. You can add just like a little bit more of your plant milk, but only add like a tablespoon at a time, because you can add more, but you can't take away. So now we're going to add a cup of frozen blueberries. You could totally use raspberries or cranberries, cut up strawberries, even raisins would be good. They don't have to be frozen, but during the mixing process and the patting it out into a scone shape process, it is easier if they're frozen because they hold together, because you have to kind of like work them into the dough. They don't naturally want to go into the dough because the dough is so thick. So then take your cookie sheet with, this is stuck in the way so you can see, your silicone liner on it. Scrape all this off. Now you could flour your hands. I think I'm just going to wet mine. The water works the same as non-sticky. And then you're just going to put it all out. Now you could totally put this on a floured surface and form it into the shape you want, and then move it to your pan, your baking sheet. But why? Why not just form it on the baking sheet? It's non-stick, less mess to clean up. So, and my silicone baking mat actually has like the circles on it. I think it's actually made for pie crust, but I use it for this. Pat it out to about, 8 inches round. Blueberries on my sweater. So here's where you really kind of work in the blueberries into the dough, because again, they kind of naturally want to pop out because that dough is really dense. See, it's kind of purpley from the blueberries. Now, you wash my hands and then we'll cut them. You cut them before then you cut them, and as you can see, I'm just using a butter knife, so because it's just dough, it's not that tough, and it will cut through those frozen blueberries pretty easily. You cut it into wedges just like you would a pie or a pizza pie. And then you separate them slightly, and I use like an offset spatula that you decorate cakes with. And I just kind of slightly pull out every other one like that, just so that the heat can get around every piece. Then you're going to bake it for about 15 minutes, maybe a little longer. Check it at 15 because they're going to get kind of golden and yumminess. And that's it, y'all. Those are the easiest scones in the world. And then I'll show y'all how to make your own powdered sugar glaze when these puppies are done. So see y'all soon. Did you know that you can make your own powdered sugar in under a minute? Never buy it again, right? So you take 1 cup. This is pure cane sugar. You could use other sugars, like a date sugar. You won't have like a white powdered sugar. You could use a coconut sugar, just whatever. Just use a sugar. And then 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, arrowroot powder, tapioca starch, just the whiteness. And then you can do it in a blender or a food processor. You put the lid on and you'll just let it go. That's it, y'all. Oh, I should mention, it's gonna look like it's smoking, but just think about powdered sugar, how it just kind of flies everywhere. That's natural. That's it. Anyways, powdered sugar. Look how beautiful our scones came out. The pan's really hot, but I'll show you. See how they just kind of get lightly golden brown, and they're delicious, and the pan is hot. So now we're going to make the glaze for the top. You're going to take a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar that we make. And this is 1 1/2 tablespoons of our plant milk. It's like a powdered sugar glaze. Mix that up. Add a little more plant milk if you want it a little runnier. Which I might add a little bit more. You could add some vanilla to this if you're kind of going maybe more lemon blueberry. Some poppy seeds instead of the chai seeds would be good. Really good lemon blueberry, some lemon zest. Be delicious. There's all kinds of ways you can go with it. You can add chocolate. Can you imagine chocolate in these things? They're amazing. Because that's how we know God loves us. He made chocolate grow on a plant, y'all. And now they're all iced and warm and delicious. And amazing. They're so good. Again, Steve said they're the best scones he's ever had because they're more moist than regular scones. And I think it's because we use the frozen fruit, and so it adds a little extra bursts of moisture. So that's it. That was so easy. Less than 20 minutes and you have yummy scones. So being plant-based, whole food does not have to take a lot of time. Everybody always says, I don't have time to make all that stuff. That took less than 20 minutes to make breakfast. It's great. They will hold in the refrigerator because there's no preservatives in our food in an airtight container for about a week. But they will freeze well for about 3 months. So really, you can make a big batch and keep them frozen and just pop one in the toaster. The toaster oven. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe and share and try the recipes and be blessed, y'all. Bye.